Hey everybody, it's Saf coming to you with another name change announcement out of many that I've had in the past year and a half or so. Well, no, past couple of years, I guess, technically. I've changed my name several times now, and through that, I have discovered that changing your name is not as big a deal as people think it is, unless you're actually going to go through the legal process. So, what I'm doing is I'm changing my names as many times as I fucking need to until I feel like it's really the one before I go and do all the legal stuff that you need to do, like go to court, pay money, get your name written in the paper, and all this other weirdness that I still haven't looked into. But yeah, when your name doesn't match the name on your ID or your credit card, that's a weird thing. And I'm going to talk about that too. But I want to start at the beginning where I talk about my original name. So the name that my mom gave me is Tasia. Some of you may not know that, but now you know. And I don't feel worried about you knowing that, even though I'm just going to put it out there that it annoys me when I tell people that I changed my name from Tasia and they go, "Oh, why? Oh, it's such a nice name." And I know that, okay? And my family already gave me enough shit for that. But it's okay. I'm past it now. Say what you want. I know it's a beautiful name. But the fact is, I'm trans, and I wanted a name that was more gender neutral. I wanted to pick my own name. I wanted to have a name that I felt suited me better than Tasia. It's never felt like my name, despite, having its obvious aesthetically pleasing qualities. One thing that was like a thing with that name was people either wondered if it was a short for Anastasia, so like, oh, are you Russian? No, I am not Russian. But another thing was, oh, that's a black girl name. I thought you were going to be black before I met you face to face. I've gotten that a lot throughout my life, and I've never really known what to say other than sorry to disappoint you. Um, and yeah, again, it's a cool name, whatever. But when I realized I was non binary and decided to start going by gender neutral pronouns and stuff like that, I changed my name to Saul. Which is interesting considering that as a kid, I wanted my name to be Jack when I was insisting that I was a boy throughout, from ages like probably as young as 3 until I, started going to middle school. It was probably all throughout elementary school that I was like, no, I'm a boy, to like my whole family. Like they all knew. But that never stopped me from wearing dresses, but I always figured that it was make believe, I guess, or they always figured it was make believe. Anyways, my inner child's named Jack still to this day, and Saul was like a phase, a literal like gender fluctuation phase where I went really masculine for a while and I was dating a girl, and that doesn't really have anything to do with anything, but for me sometimes like the relation I sometimes am a thing in relation to my surroundings, and I'll sort of like be able to slip into a gender that suits me at the time. Like right now I'm coming back into neutrality after having a sort of like a feminization phase, and that's cool. It's because I feel like neutrality is becoming this new thing to me that it wasn't before. It's presenting itself to me in a new way. That, like, for example, I'm not attached to my body hair as much as I felt before in transition. Like, I feel like I could shave my whole body and still feel very neutral in myself, even if other people don't see me as neutral or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, coming into neutrality doesn't mean that I have to dress androgynous all the time or whatever. Just wear the things I like and go with that. That has something to do with my recent name change too, from Safa to Saf. So I went from Saul to Safa, and now I'm going from Safa to Saf. And the transition from Saul, actually no, I went from Saul to Salty. So I don't want to forget about that. Salty was kind of like a nickname, but it was an important nickname because it was like a cloak. It was like a cloak of stealthness, because if I go around telling people my name is Saul in conservative Arizona, where I was living at the time, I think that it would raise a lot of eyebrows, and I didn't want to do that. So I went as Salty, and people were like, "Why are you salty? What's the story behind that?" And the story is that I was going to keep Tasia as my middle name, so my grandma started calling me Salty as a joke. And so, I mean, I kind of gave myself that name, but it caught on through it being like a descriptor, which was kind of what I wanted, and it just so happened that way. Anyways, from Salty to Safa was a transition that had to do with, I don't want to be a descriptor anymore. I don't want my saltiness to define me, because sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I'm really happy-go-lucky. Sometimes I'm really optimistic. Sometimes I just have stars in my eyes and I'm not jaded as fuck. I am like an actual objectively happy person now. So I feel a lot less salty than I used to be, and I don't need to be that anymore. And so salty went away. I don't care if people call me that. It's fine. But Safa means serenity and purity, so I liked that. But it is an Arabic name, and I am not Arabic. So that's where the awkwardness with Safa came in. And Lori, the way I was spelling it, was a Hindi word for lullaby. So I wanted my name to mean serene lullaby. But again, like, okay, your name, if you don't want to cause awkwardness culturally, should match, the whatever the majority of your cultural delineation is. So now, being Saf makes sense to me, because Saf is actually a Welsh word for safe, and it's not even a name. It's not even a Welsh name, and I definitely have Welsh blood, even if I am mostly English. On the Edmund side of my family, we're also definitely part Welsh, and that's pretty ambiguous. But the name Edmonds is very Welsh, and yeah, so that's almost like carrying on that part of my ancestry and satisfying that without having to have it be a Welsh name. You know what I mean? So Safa is like an Arabic name, and there's like a lot of Arabic people with the name Safa, so I get weird reactions from people who were like actually like that of those Middle Eastern cultures. They'd be like looking at me, looking for evidence of like, do you deserve to wear that name? And like, yeah, it it's awkward, like, especially too, it's like it sounds African, because it's a word in Swahili too. It means suck. So I didn't think that was gonna bug anybody, but apparently it does. And yeah, it's fine if people can be bugged by your new name, if you can stand that for the rest of your life. But if you find that you name yourself something and it's causing the same iffy reactions over and over and over again, it's okay to change it again. I decided that it's okay to change my name as many times as I need until I get the fucking mojo till it fits the energy that I want. And I love Saf. It's just so short and simple and still very unique. I wanted my name to be unique. I changed the spelling of Lori to be the English spelling, so Lorie. I was tempted to spell it like the way that Hugh Laurie spells it with a U, because I like Hugh Laurie as an actor. But I decided to go with Lori because it's more like the bird Lori, um, which sometimes is spelled with a Y at the end, and sometimes it's spelled with an IE. Yeah, cute name, and it's a first name that works as a last name. I don't want to be. I think it gives my name a feminine feel, like throughout, because Saf still sounds very masculine. And what people did when my name was Saul was they tried to spell it SOL, like soul. So because there's girls named Soul, and like they needed my name to be feminine, and people still do this. When I tell people my name is Saf, they'll go, "Oh, Staff? Oh, Steph? Oh, no, I didn't say that." Like people hear what they want to hear. So if you have a gender neutral name, that's most definitely probably going to happen if you decide to give yourself either a name that doesn't match your biological, association. Like if somebody associates your biology with with different mouth sounds and cultural names, then you're going to get that reaction every time. Like you're gonna have people try to make it fit into their reality and their perception of who you're supposed to be. And so by naming yourself something, it has a lot of power. It has the power to shift people into like uh the realm of possibility, I guess. It's like, whoa, I didn't know that you could do that. They have to like make the calculations in their head and kind of go, wait, people are allowed to name themselves things that don't fit their biological sex and their culture. Wait, no. And yeah, like pretty much, even if you name yourself something like that's technically culturally appropriative, if the person likes you enough, it won't matter. But some people will definitely get a hair up their ass about it and not like you for the rest of the time that they know you. At least that's how I perceive. Like, oh, okay, this person thinks that it's stupid that I don't have a name that matches my racial ancestry, so this person is gonna be passive aggressive towards me about my name. And that's happened with Safa. It happened with Tasia. And I just kind of think, man, sometimes you just can't win with a name. Unless it's something easy, something simple that's like it matches your cultural, it matches your biological, and it's a common name. All of those things together, if you have those three things, then you're probably never going to have any of the same issues that I had. But even with these issues, my life is okay. But it is kind of awkward having it say one thing on my ID and me saying, well, actually, that's not my real name. My real name is this. Call me Saf. Yeah, people still get weirded out by that because, name yourself? We're allowed to do that? Yeah, we're allowed to do that, and we're allowed to rename ourselves as many times as we want. But I think, and I feel like, well, first of all, I want to experiment and, like, be able to see how this name interacts with my body, like how Safa didn't work for, like, reasons of, like, I don't want to cause that cultural and continuity thing. So yeah, I'm changing the spelling, and I'm comfortable with that. I like Saf because it means safe, and Lori because I'm like a safe bird now. I'm a safe bird. I'm okay with being a safe bird, and I think that I'm also empowered through that action of being able to be me regardless of what I'm called. That's a cool feel. That the name can be as fluid as your gender is, and the name can be as powerful as you want it to be, and it's gonna mean something different to everybody who sees it. So what matters is how it makes you feel and what it means to you. So yeah, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Bye.